Well, today we are doing day 5, and a little bit of a different start for me. I've tried a baking soda additive to my schedule and to my diet to see if it'll give me a little more opportunity to lift a little bit longer. Did some research about baking soda and how it should help to counteract the lactic acid that builds in your muscles. So we'll see if it helps me out a little bit. Plus, I did take my insulin spiking pre-workout, which was, dates, maple syrup, banana, protein shake, creatine, all of that stuff. And we'll see if this other stuff helps. And during my workout, I'm also going to be taking some BCAA. Just I'm getting all these things together that I've been researching to see if they all come together to make a wonderful, perfect storm, or a mess that'll make me want to get nauseated. We'll see.
There's actually little to no warm-up that I utilize when I first start this workout. So this is the pullover. We're still holding at about 360 pounds or 4 plates on each side. And this time I went ahead and put on the belt. The previous time I kept the belt off and I could only muster up enough to match what I did the last time, which was 6. Well, this time I actually did 1 more than I did previously. And so according to the theory of high intensity training, each time you come into the gym, you should either go up in reps or up in weight. And as long as you're doing that, then you're progressing in the right direction. And you always want to go to failure, which is what I'm doing, which is why I'm so exhausted looking here. This is actually the substitute for the bent over rows. I wanted to use a machine. Now, initially I had this on 200 pounds, but I went up to 220 pounds and really was able to handle 7 reps. I'm trying to hold it and not rock it so I can get the most out of the reps. But to be quite honest, it felt like I could have done even more weight than 220 pounds. In fact, next time I think I might go up in pounds yet again because I've been really getting stronger with my back and biceps. Now this has been a big time challenge. The last time I could barely do 1.5. Now this is the first full one. I'm holding it for a little bit and then slowly putting it down, bracing myself, going up for the second one. Now this was the max that I did last time. If I can get 1 more up, then that means I've gotten stronger since the last time I did this 5 days ago. And up we go, 1 more rep, barely, but I'm up and I am at, so I just decided to, hey, why not go for it? 1 more try, why not, right? And this is what total failure looks like. Going up and it freeze and you can't go any higher. That's total rep. Now, the interesting thing about the bicep curls with this workout routine, there are 2 different times you come back to. This is the first time. Now, the last time I had 2 different versions or 2 different rounds of bicep curls, I had a certain number from the last one than I did the previous day. Okay? So as I'm going through this, I'm once again allowing for the weight to go down very slowly, trying to stretch it out all the way. I have to cheat to do this because remember, these are just negatives. They're not full reps, they are only negatives. You hold for 4 seconds and then you let them go down slowly. Now this time, for my first set of bicep negative curls, I actually, and now once again, it's at 200 pounds total, which is the entire stack, by the way, here at the gym on this machine. As I'm going along and trying to push myself, I'm getting a tremendous amount of pain, but that pre-workout that I gave, that lactic acid, isn't kicking in quite as early as it did last time. So this time, for the first round, I actually peaked at 2 additional ones with these reps, which I was kind of surprised that I did. And I almost felt like I could have maybe squeezed out maybe 1 more than just 2 extra ones. But I also had to remember, hey, I've got a whole lot more workout to do and I got to come back to this machine. So we'll save it for the next round. Now this was a personal best. I have been struggling with this red machine for the longest. At 205 pounds, I couldn't even move it because it felt like the pulleys were too tight. Now, I've progressed to the point where I can just go ahead and push them out. Now, this is supposed to be a negative, but I can't do it because I don't have a partner. But this is the beautiful thing. The most I've ever done is 5 reps. This time, I pushed out 7 reps, holding it for a bit, and then slowly working on the negative with this yet again. So this is showing that my strength is getting greater and my arms are getting bigger. I am noticing a change in the size in my arms, and we're just on day 5 here. We still have to get to, day 14, but this is really a positive, going in the right direction. Now we kind of have to start from scratch on this because these are negative pull-ups, and the last time in day 4 we had regular pull-ups, but these are supposed to be negatives only. So in order to add a variety and to have a better way of documenting it, I went ahead and used what I call the hammer hold or the hammer grip, where it's not a chin up where my palms are facing me, but they're actually facing each other. So it's more of a hammer grip as I jump up and I hold as I'm watching the clock for 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, then going down very slowly, preferably for about 8 counts, and stretching all the way out on the way down. And so there's only about 4 that I could do this. But once again, this is in the hammer grip, and so we're gonna, if we have this exercise again, we're gonna do it the same way so we can gauge the progress accordingly. Now on this one, I went up to 85 pounds, and I need to put my elbows more forward, but we have a significant amount of weight, and we went up in weights, and we had about 5 reps, but it did more there as well. Now this is the second round of the curls. Now once again, I cheat to hold it up 4 seconds and slowly extend this. I don't know why they set it up this way, but I am noticing that this is helping me to peak my biceps a little bit more. Now I believe this is a substitute or replacement for the overhead pull downs that was in the previous set of exercises. So this double taxes the bicep muscles, similar to what the pull downs did in the previous day, in day 4. But even with the second round of curls, I was able to extend myself just a little bit beyond where I was now. I tried to get this I knew I was already at my limit from the last time, so I wanted to get one more in. I couldn't quite get it all the way up and hold it, but I did get about a half of a rep and had to let it go. Now we go to the next one. Now we went up in weight to the 30-pound dumbbells, and I'm not necessarily trying to go heavy with this, but I'm doing a little bit of a different technique. I'm trying to lead with my elbows up, because in my previous one, I was holding the dumbbells above my shoulders, and I just recently learned from the great Mr. Glass that you shouldn't do that because that strains the shoulder unnecessarily. But in doing it the way that he's shown me, I've got heavier weights, I actually did more reps. Now this is actually starting from a new base, because I've actually deadlifted 400, 435 and all that, and this is supposed to be stiff leg deadlift. And so we're at 2 red plates and 1 blue, which is a total of 355 pounds. And this is towards the end of the workout, so I'm pretty exhausted at this point. I had to kind of gather myself, and sometimes this is not available for me to set up to do stiff leg deadlifts. And if I can't, then what I tend to do is I go over towards the Olympic side of the gym and just do deadlift, just straight deadlift like I did last time. But this time I wanted to try to stay true to the form as much as I could to do stiff leg deadlift where I'm just pulling it and putting it back down and not really trying to do a classical deadlift. Although it seems like it just feels that way anyhow. But we were still able to get about 5 reps total. And once again, this is towards the end of the workout. And finally, we are here at the squats. Previously, I would do 10 sets at 135, 10 reps. 10 reps at 135, 10 reps at 225, then 10 reps at 310, and then count it from there. That's what I did last time. This time, I didn't do the warm-ups, and I just went straight to the 310 to try to do more than 10. Now, I did do more reps as far as the 310 is concerned, but I think the next time I do it, I'm going to do the warm-up, because the warm-ups help me to stabilize my body and get myself accustomed to the weight on my shoulders, and helps with my technique. Now, I did do 5 more, so instead of just 10 reps at 10, I was up to 15 reps, so in total, I was a total of 15 reps all in all.
Couldn't get on the leg extension because there's too many people and girls sitting on it talking too long. I couldn't wait. Also, carrying my water jug instead of going back and forth to the water fountain saved me a whole lot of time. And putting the BCAAs in here, I think was helpful. It gave me a little more, I don't know, glucose to tap into. But today went a lot faster, and the faster you go, think the more intense you can go with it. So today was actually a really good day. So I want to see how the growth is going from here on out. Day 5 is complete of the Colorado experiment. I'm the prostate cancer guy.